This is not a corrupt scheme. Now, to the extent that there is a violation, let's punish him consistent with others who have had problems. Earl Hilliard, for example, was found by the committee to have been paying more than market rent for his campaign headquarters. The rent paid to family members who owned the building. He was not censured. He wasn't even reprimanded. He received a committee letter. Other cases involving campaign violations and use of official resources have not resulted in censure. One example is the case of Bud Schuster for violations of House rules related to campaign and other violations. He was found to have knowingly allowed a former employee turned lobbyist to communicate with him within 12 months following her resignation, to influence his schedule and give him advice pertaining to his office. He was also found to have violated the House gift rule, to have misused official congressional resources, misused official congressional staff for campaign purposes, to have made certain expenditures from his campaign for campaign account for expenses that were not bona fide campaign or political purposes, and yet he received a letter, not a censure, not even a reprimand. Although both of those cases involved personal financial gain and intentional violations of the rules.
You mean to tell me he's going to sell everybody down the freaking river? Tell everybody's freaking business in order for him not to get burnt when he deserves to get burnt because he's a freaking crook. Can we go listen to some more of this bullshit? Bless you, Mommy.
That's a properly because ownership and some rental payments were in fact reported on his disclosure, so there's nothing to cover up. And while he did not file all his reports properly, these are not matters that warrant censure. Mistakes made on disclosure are usually corrected without with nothing more said. The only cases where there is a violation, sanction for failing to disclose are cases where there is some corrupt cover-up. For example, failing to file campaign contributions from Tunson Park during Koreagate, or failing to have loans or assets with those who would reveal a conflict of interest. Now, the committee found no evidence that failure to report was for financial gain or cover-up. The tax issues, comment was made that he hadn't paid taxes for 17 years. Well, let's say a word about those taxes. Tax matters involved a deal where he and many others had pooled their rents and paid expenses, and anything left over was profit. Well, it wasn't as profitable as they hoped. He got a couple of small checks over all those years, and that was it. However, one of the bills paid was his mortgage, and diminution of principal is technically income on which you have to pay taxes. Whatever sanction there should be for that transgression should be consistent with precedent. The only example of anybody sanctioned for tax matters in this House in the history of the United States have been those who did not pay taxes on bribes they received.
Oh, you got to be stupid, Mommy. I got to go.
Be sanctioned like
Did you hear this bullshit? Not paying taxes on bribes. You got to be kidding me. 17 years. He didn't pay no taxes. And all them colored Negroes gonna come around you trying to save your black ass for what? You're a loser, man. Was you stealing like Robin Hood to give to your black people, or was you just benefiting yourself? Charlie Rangel, bang, you fucked everybody. Now you got every black nigga looking like shit. You're going to cost the president his goddamn re-election because of your bullshit, because he's a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. Bang, you motherfucker. Don't you regret the frickin' day you fucked with Bloomberg? Now that's the justification Congressman Meeks got, and everybody else got in the Congressional Black Caucus for not fucking with Bloomberg about my case. And so guess what? I'm supposed to understand, forgive me and all that shit? Bang. Hell no. I'm not your God. I ain't got to forgive you. Or anybody else. But guess what I want to do? I want to sell you, Congressman Meeks, Maxine Waters, at town, all of your black politicians, I got a racetrack to sell you, and it's called Belmont. And guess what I want y'all to go get? Your colleague, your buddy, New York State Congressman of Allen AME Church, Floyd Flake. He wants a racetrack with gambling, booze, and prostitution. You Negroes are just freaking immoral, and y'all wonder why Europeans just wonder about y'all sometimes. Hello. I ain't got nothing. I'm a Haitian. I'm a nice guy. I'm just mind my business. Y'all have a nice day.